Okay, in this overview, we will look at adding a new data field onto the map collector, data field that didn't exist before, or removing a data field, and maybe editing data field. Let's just overview. So you would find the location, so that's hotels. You would drill down to okay, so we drill down to a location that we have. For example, this location could be the church. We find church. Okay, so that could be the RC church. Now this is basically what we need to populate the database, but we have other fields. This field is used to do tagging. RC church, whatever the name of the church, whatever. Okay, the owner, phone number, website, photo, but I have a standard photo just in case, so at least a photo gets displayed. You click save, the map reloads, and this is it there. There is no contact, it's just RC church. If they have a website, blah blah blah. Now how do we go about adding a new field? Now we know this is populated from the database, so it's just a matter of putting new ones into the database manually. Have no form to just make you add it. The second is the business name. The third, it gets populated when you click on the location. Keep on zooming in, double clicking, and you get the location here. Now what we need to do is add a new field. So for this tutorial, I'll decide to add a field called email address. Okay, so we'll add email address somewhere along business name, and we'll put email address here. So we'll reformat this and put business owner, phone number, email address. So let's see how that is done. Switching over to the Visual Studio, you would find the solution file. The add file is in default 2, it's in admin. That's the file where we will be able to do our additions. So I change to design because this is ASP web forms, and then we want to get to this part here where we will put a new data field. Okay, so let's just make this a little longer out here, a little longer, a little smaller. Let's bring up this one, phone, to the same level. Maybe I could just put it in a table. Business owner, phone, let's just bring it back down. I'll fix this after. Let's just put email address, email. Okay, I'm going to put a text field there, standard text field. Look for the standard text box. Okay, so we give it a name, email text box. Let's save this. So now we have a field that will need to be correspond to our database. So we go to the database. The database is in the solution, so automatically it will try to open it up. It's actually found in the folder here called SQL, local SQL DB. Okay, so all the membership and roles are here, so we will build out membership and roles based on ASP. Location, addresses, farm addresses, whatever this was forward. Here is where we are working with table location. So we do not have an email here, so we could do an open table definition. It's taking a little while to open. So when we look at the connection string, I don't know why I have so many connection strings here. It should just be one, because it's the same, everything is in the same place. I don't know, really, I don't know why, but I'll try to clean this up. Now the connection string points to the hosting of the database on the Windows server, so that's why I could not continue to connect to the designer. So I would have to use SQL servers management, SQL management studio, and we would connect to the database directly, make the changes in the database, and then it will be reflected here in Visual Studios. So fire up your stuff, your SQL server, then you know the source is this. We are using SQL authentication. This is the user, and the password is right there. Click connect. So this would go to SO6 on the Windows server and bring in our database where we should be able to manipulate it. I'm hoping that we could use these guys, what's the name, Microsoft Azure services. It's much better, just have to run it. So now we have our database, here it is. Go to tables. Now everything will take a little while, as you know, because it's on the outside. So we right click and we'll do the design. Wait a little while, and then the designer should come up with all the database fields. We would add in the email. Now we are not normalizing anything on this table because alright, so let's just add an email. I could add it at the bottom. Email. Email usually go to 70. I hope we don't have anything longer, and then I'll save. Now since this is the cloud database, when we switch back here, after the saving the committee, now this new field takes place. We would be able to refresh on this table here, refresh this, and email would appear here. So now we have an email field. We could continue. We need this email field to be connected with the query. So let's see how we had queries connected. Data set. Now we need to get configure the query. Why we're doing this is to add in that new field. It's called email. Okay, email is our last field. We could just do a query builder. Just to ensure that email is here, we could even execute. Since it's getting the top 10, we could execute and check to see if you get data to make sure that everything is good. Okay, so we got some records here. See, top 10. Top 10 will be the last 10 that is identified. Say okay. Say finish. So this is the standard query get. When you usually change the get to make sure that all that you have in your standard SQL, in your standard select query, it's all that you want. So once we do this, we have email added there. That's fine, and then we will be able to get back to the designer of the dataset, and change all the other queries that we want, like the queries that we get, insert. We need to change this one. Configure. We want to insert now here. We want to insert also email, and we will find that at email. Okay, click finish to save. So we could add as how much more fields we want by doing this. We can also check this out to see if we configure. Now see, it automatically give us, because the select query email, so that one we do not have to do anything to because it's already there. So farm name is actually the field for business name, as you would see on the form. Business name match to the name of the business. I just have to ask called farm name. So we have the dataset saved. Now we go to the C# page, and you notice that your insert will be throwing an error because it's missing a field, and that field is the last field, which is email text box, which we did put this very early. That text. And save this. Now the error will go away once the if you would like to see what's going on, you put comma and it says that it needs byte email. So we have an error there because I did not say byte. So here it is. Here it is. Varchar 70. So we do have an error because we define the email as a byte and we are taking a string from the text box. That doesn't make sense. So let's just do that all over. Save this there. So we're doing the right thing now. It's email, I saved, and it's voucher, I saved, and now I have to hop back over to our data set just to double check to ensure that the email which should show up as the last field here, property, should not be saying byte, but it should be saying voucher. Okay, so I could change this to just say system.string. Should be a system.string right there. Okay, and that should be able to do the trick. Save this, run back here, come back here and see what it's saying. It's still saying it needs byte. So the ways to deal with this is to actually build your solution, which would of course throw an error, but you might be able to circumnavigate. Okay, so I'll just put email text box dot text. Now since the data is in the cloud, it may give us a little trouble to when it's refreshing, but should work out fine. Or what you want to do, you could simply come back here, configure again. We have email there again. We just do this, just say finish. My internet is pretty slow, so this process takes a little time, but what it's doing is reflecting on the database and trying to get all what it needs to get in terms of the the same thing that we were looking at, the